If you're a guy who approaches and you want to make indirect openers work for you, check this video out. So let's start. Indirect openers are good because they're reliable in non-social settings, non-social environments, and they allow people to warm up to conversation. The girls you talk to, whether it be one or in a group, they allow them to kind of build slowly up to a conversation, as opposed to jumping in, right? Assuming familiarity in a social setting. But a lot of guys get stuck on the opener. Now, why is that? Because of fear. But all you have to do once you use the opener is to get off the opener and get on to more personal conversation. It's all you're using the opener for is a first line. Literally. Literally think of it that way. You want to, if you can see what I have here, you want to begin at once to make playful inferences or guesses, teases, or things that you see about her, that you notice about her, that you hear. Maybe you hear an accent. Maybe you hear a twang. Maybe you hear her pronunciation is a little bit funny. Maybe you hear anything like this. Maybe you recognize she has this type of scarf on or that on, right? She has a French accent. Anything. She has a Brooklyn accent. Absolutely anything. Use any inference, and then you can inference guess. You can kind of come up with a playful story about it, right? To move you off of that specific line. You want to just use the line, throw it away, and move on to more personal topics immediately. You don't have to worry about it, right? So, for example, I can say, "Hey, do you know any good coffee shop around here? You like the most anti-coffee girl, so you probably know everything, but hate that you know it at the same time." There we go, right? You see in that example, what am I doing? I'm as soon as I say the opener, I'm letting go of it to go into more deeper conversation about her, about who she is, what she does, what she likes, etc. Already, right? And I'm already being playful, fun about it, right? Teasing a little bit. If I'm looking for a shoe store, right? Because the examples are endless; they don't matter. I'm looking for a shoe store. Hey, you know any good shoe store around here? I suspect you have every shoe in the world in your closet already, but maybe you're looking for more, so you're probably studying more, shoe store locations, something like that, right? So I'm making it personal. I'm diving into a personal topic about her or to a relevant conversation about herself. If you're looking for a pizzeria, right? Hey, you know any good pizzerias around here? You look like you. If pizza were a person, you'd probably be it. I don't know about the cheesy part. Maybe you are cheesy sometimes, right? Adding the teasing and humor in there. That's that's how you move past that. You get off the opener and you get on to more personal conversation. I have it written here, punching through your opponents, right? It's a martial arts analogy that when trainers tell, because I think it matches up well here, when trainers tell their boxer or kickboxer, whatever, to hit the bag, to hit the pad, to hit their opponent, it doesn't really do anything, right? They might not hit as hard. They might not generate that force. But if they punch behind their opponent, if they punch behind that certain spot where they're aiming at, right, on the other side of their body that they're aiming at, that's when they generate maximum force. And so I don't want you to use the opener as an opener for its own sake, I want you to use the opener as a bridge to better and deeper conversation. The opener is not, using the opener for opener's sake is like a love tap. Using the opener as a springboard, because like I mentioned, right, we're looking for playful inferences, fun narrative-like guesses about her, looking for accents, looking for the way she says words, looking for things she's wearing, in order to springboard, to mention those things and springboard into the conversation past the opener. So you're looking for any and all information you can get to move way past the opener, right? You want to end up on the other side of it. You're using the opener to end up on the other side, which is conversation. And I have a bunch of other examples here of based on things that people usually ask and say. If you want these examples, if you think they'll help you or give you something to think about, being able to create your own transitional, maybe dialogue or transitional conversational pieces, then I'll provide a link down below. You just slot your email in there and I'll send them right to you. And the last point that I would say, usually when people start going about it, it's much easier to find transitions out of indirect opens on girls that are foreign, because girls that are foreign give you a lot, right? So you can tell she's not from your city because she's saying this, or she's saying that, or she's wearing this, right? You can tell these things stand out. They're broad, they're right in your face, they're blatant, easy to pick up. So as you start seeing yourself work on these things, you'll realize that too. You were like, okay, well, it's easy. She's from Austria. I can see she's not from Columbus, Ohio, like me, right? She's clearly not from here, clearly. Or, maybe she lived here briefly. But one thing to pay attention to, or I would say to use in being able to transition out of these things, out of openers for local girls, is think of when people live locally, especially in the New York area, right? I'm in North New Jersey, North Bergen, right over here, close to New York City. A lot of people live in a bubble. They live in a box. So they live in New York, the Big Apple, all of this to explore, but they go to work, they go home, they go to their favorite bar, and then they go back again. And they live in a small circle, triangle, whatever shape it turns out to be. So you can actually joke that locals, can be kind of true too. I would say a lot of cities would have this. Locals can actually be less knowledgeable about their own city because they just go to work and go home, right? So you can actually tease that about girls who are local if you're having a hard time finding something to transition about, right? They live in their work, home, hangout spot box, and that's it. But even saying that and injecting that, moving that into the conversation will get you springboarding in the right direction. So, again, to recap, obviously indirect openers are really, really great for non-social environments. People get stuck on the opener due to fear of moving past it, maybe not knowing what to say, but you drop the opener, you get onto more personal topics, You look for anything you can find about her, or you make fun, playful guesses and inferences, and you use those to springboard you, to float you into the conversation. Right? Remember that. Remember the analogy, the punching behind the opponent analogy. You want to use the opener to gain the conversation, not use the opener for the opener's sake. So I hope we've taken something out of this. Go use it. Go try it today. If you do want the notes, I'll send a link down below and have them sent right to you. And until next time.